Hello everyone, this is Amrit and welcome back to the channel. This video is the continuation of our full stack movie booking application series, and in this video we are going to start our real-time seat locking. So first of all I will explain you the complete flow and architecture of the real-time seat locking, and then we will run Redis inside Docker container and we'll create our first socket server. Okay, so let's start. Imagine two users trying to book the same seat at the same time. Okay, if both payment succeeds, chaos happens. Okay, double booking, angry users, refunds, and a broken booking system. So how do platforms like BookMyShow, District solve these issues? Okay, so in this video I will show you a real world architecture for real time seat locking using React, Node.js, Socket.io, and Redis. Okay, and this is the exact system design used to prevent these type of conflicts. So let me explain you the component first. So you can see that this is the seat layout checkout page. I think you know these are from front-end components, and Express server, this is our backend REST APIs, and socket server, this is used to handle real-time communication, and Redis to store our logs. Okay, so what I am going to do here is I will run socket and nodejs backend on the same server, but logically they handle different responsibility. Like socket server handle only real-time communication and Express server handle only REST communication. Okay, now these are some important socket events like join show, lock seats, locked seat initials, seat locked, seat unlocked, seat lock filled. So these are some events I'm going to use in this video. Okay, now let's start step by step the complete flow. Okay, so there is a slight change in the diagram. You can see that because the previous one was little complex, you cannot understand it clearly. So I modified it a little bit so that you can understand it better. Okay, so let's start this flow step by step. Okay, when user opens seat selection page, at that time frontend connects to socket server globally. Okay, so that is a global connection to a socket server. Okay, now right after that user joins the socket room using socket.join and socket id. Here socket id is the room id. Okay, in which, like, if you are trying to book some seats for suppose Mission Impossible movie, then the id of that show is the room. Okay, so you will join the room using show id. Okay, now the next step is socket server internally fetch locked seat from the Redis, that if some another users are trying to book some seats for the same show. Okay, so if there are some seats which is already locked, then it emits locked seat initial event to the front end that these seats are already locked, you cannot book that seats. Okay, so after receiving that request, front end updates locked seat state to disable those seats in UI. Okay, now the next step, that is fifth step, is user click on any seat which is available and add it to selected seats state. Okay, now the sixth step, so there are, you can see that there are two steps, 6a and 6b. So whenever you click on proceed button after selecting the seat, first of all it sends a lock seat event to the socket server having show id, seat id, and user id to lock these seats. Okay, so then socket server check inside the Redis that these seats locked or not. If any conflict, then server emits seat locked field for the user. Okay, but if available, then server store that lock in the Redis. Okay, for some specific time. Then it sends a event inside seat locked event to all the users present in that show that these seats are locked. Okay, by someone. Now after this request complete, then this request will happen like 6b, user click on proceed, user will be redirected to checkout page, and once the checkout page loads, a countdown timer starts for 5 minutes. Okay, now the user needs to pay. So if payment succeeds, backend creates booking in DB and that seat is permanently locked or booked. Okay, but if timer expires, like user not able to book any seat in 5 minutes, Then timer expires and frontend emit unlock seat event. Then server removed that seat from the Redis and send a mass event seat unlocked to all client in that room. Okay. So that is the complete step of real-time seat locking. If you find any difficulties like to understand the any steps inside this flow, you can directly ping me in the comment or you can mail me, and I will also provide this diagram in the description. So now let's jump into the implementation. Okay, so let's start. First of all, I'm going to run a Docker container for Redis because we cannot install Redis inside our Windows. Okay, so if you don't know what Docker is a platform that allows you to package an application with all its dependencies and run it anywhere. Okay, so it solved the classic problem like if it work on my machine but not on the server. So with Docker, your app runs the same anywhere. Okay, now what Docker container is like a container is a running instance of Docker image. So Docker image, so what I'm going to do here is Docker image, I'm going to pull it from Docker Hub. It's like a package that contain all the dependencies. So for now I'm using Redis Docker image, and then I will pull that Docker image from Docker Hub and run inside a Docker container. Okay, so let's do that. First of all, if you don't have Docker desktop installed in your system, just install it from the Docker website, official website, install it. So, and I already have the Docker desktop, so I will just run it. Okay, so our Docker daemon starts. Now let's go to the VS Code and open the terminal, and inside this, so I'm going to type it here, docker run -d name Redis server. This port is 6379 and Redis. So this is the Docker image, and this is the name of this container that I am going to run, and this is the port mapping. So this is the port inside Docker container, and this is the port inside our machine. Okay, so both port is mapped to each other. So if I trying to fetch localhost 6379, it will map to the port inside our container. Okay, so I will just enter it. So you can see that unable to find image locally, so it is pulling from Docker Hub. Okay, you can see that status downloaded, and this is the ID of the container. So I will just write docker ps. I can see that a container ID is this, name image is this, and this is running. Okay, so you can see inside your Docker desktop also, you can see that this Redis server is currently running. Okay, so now let's start our backend server, and before starting we have to install one more package to connect our backend server with Redis, a package name called npm install io Redis. Okay, okay, now let's start our server. Okay, now let's go to our config folder and create one file here, redis.ts. Okay, inside this, first of all import Redis. Now here just write const Redis new Redis. Inside this we have to pass our host, Redis host, and port as well. Password is not required, just like write here retry strategy. So it will reconnect every 5 seconds. Now here just write redis.on error. It will display the error. Okay, and redis dot on connect. Redis connected successfully. Okay, now export this redis, save this, go inside your env, and we have to pass these envs. So env here is host, here is 127.0.0.1 and code is 6379. Okay, save this, go inside your config.ts and here add redis host. Okay, save this, now go inside redis and here just write config dot redis host and config dot redis port. Okay, so I think this is good. Now let's save this. Now let's go to the server.ts and here just import the redis file. Okay, no need to import this variable, just write like this and open your terminal and save this. Yeah, you can see that Redis connected successfully. So we are connected with our Redis server. Now let's create socket server. Okay, so for that just close this terminal for now. We are going to install some packages. So let me see if that is already present or not. Okay, so socket.io is not present. So here just write socket.io. Okay, now let's start our server again. Now let's go to the server.ts and here we need to do some modification inside our current Express server. So first of all, we have to create a HTTP server from Express app. So just write here const HTTP server equal to HTTP dot create server and pass the app inside this HTTP. Just import this HTTP. Okay, now here I need to create the socket server. So just write here const io equal to new server and inside this just pass the HTTP server because I want to run Express and socket on same server. Okay, so just write like this here. Okay, we need to import this server that is coming from socket.io and here just write cors origin and I'm going to pass the localhost URL, frontend URL here, and methods are get post credentials true. Okay, this is good. Now here just write io.on connection. Okay, so just save this. You cannot see any changes here because, so like I said, once the user open this seat selection page, then the frontend connects to socket server. Okay, we did not implement socket inside our frontend, that's why it is not showing anything here. Now let's go to the frontend and let's implement socket client on the frontend side. Okay, so go to the frontend and install one package here, socket io client. Okay, Okay, so it is installed. Now let's start our server. Okay, let's go to our source utils, and here we will create a file socket.js. Okay, and inside this file I will import IO from socket IO client, and here just write export const socket equal to IO, and this is the URL. Okay, here our backend server or socket server is running on 9000 port. Okay, so save this. So what this code will do, this code will create a global connection with our socket server. Okay, now let's go to seat layout, and here just import the socket from utils.socket. Okay, now let's save this, and let's see whether you can see the logs of user connected or not. So let's go to the browser, and here I am going to open the localhost 5173. Okay, so I opened this browser. Let's see the connection is established or not. So you can see that there is no any log in that user is connected. So let's go to our backend server and see why it is not working. So go to the server.ts, and here, okay, so here we have to pass HTTP server. Okay, so that both the Express and socket runs on same Node.js server. Okay, so let's save this, and now let's try. Yeah, you can see that user connected with this socket ID. Okay, so we are connected with our socket server. Okay, now we have to do one more thing. If I suddenly close this browser, then user should be disconnected. Okay, so what I will do here is just write here socket dot on disconnect user disconnected, and socket ID this, and also I'm going to pass the reason here, reason, and here also have to pass the reason. Okay, now let's save this. User connected, this is the socket ID. Now let's see. I'm going to close this browser. Now you can see that user disconnected. This is the socket ID, same as the above. Reason transport close. Okay, so we are connected with our socket server successfully. Now the next thing is to create our all socket handlers, like these things, these socket events, all socket events. Okay, so that I will do in the next video. So till then, if you find any difficulties, please ping me in the comment, and I will provide this diagram in the description. You can refer it from there. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.